Do a audio test now. Let's see if that works. Man, I can only do this on my phone. Yeah.
Let's see how we go here today.
No, that's earlier. Not that one. Do you see it back up there, babe?
No.
It's probably going to take a while to throw it in there since I canceled the last one.
Well, you're good now.
All right, good.
Good.
It's about what happened, and a lot of people have woken.
So not that one. Hi, Renee. How are you, my friend? We're having some technical difficulties over here. There we go. I think that's it. Yeah. Yeah, so we are live on TikTok, see if anybody actually shows up on TikTok. But my main stream, of course, it's on YouTube. We're going to see if we can, if Miguel shows up today. We missed him this morning. Three minutes ago. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's good. That's where I want you to be on YouTube. I appreciate it, brother. Well, if you missed the live this morning, we actually were talking about Hamas and Israel, and some of the people, crazy people that have some theories about what happened with Charlie Kirk and all that stuff. Hi, Trinity. How are you? Welcome, welcome. My gosh, I try to do this on on the computer, and I was getting no audio. So you guys have to watch the vertical version. God bless America. How you doing, brother? Thanks for joining. Make Honduras great again. Amen. Absolutely. And for those who come in and join on TikTok, welcome as well as my YouTubers over here. I will let you know that I'm going to be trying to use Rumble. I'm not really a fan of Rumble, but apparently you get more freedom of speech in Rumble. So we'll see. I'm using TikTok, and it seems like TikTok is supposed to be some sort of like very restrictive. They're still doing this whole deal with the United States, so we'll see how that works. Joshua, well, the rapture hasn't happened, my friend. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here, I'm pretty sure. Let's see what we got. Colvin, how are you? What's up? Thanks for joining. And Pablo, good afternoon, Pablo. A great American, he says. Yeah, you know what? We are, Joshua, it's sad that we didn't get rapture yet. But he doesn't know that it's not our time. It's God's time. And we have a lot of work to do yet. So I wouldn't be too worried about it, my friend. We will not be getting rapture today. Yeah, maybe we did get rapture and we're not really here right now. Boy, I don't know what you were smoking, my friend, but the rest of us are pretty sober. And we are in touch with reality. Let's see. Miguel, man, you've been hiding, bro. Why you been hiding? Brian says, make America great again. I'm starting to see my Patriots coming in here. I appreciate it. MQ says, don't forget to drink water and take a proper break. Man, pretty soon, pretty soon. Let's see. Joshua, make sure the cigarettes are not laced with something hallucinating over here that the rapture might have happened already. This guy doesn't know where he's at. Well, you are still here on this earth, my friend. Rapture has not happened yet. You know, Josh, so let me tell you something about the rapture. How can I explain it? Because a lot of people hear the word, but they don't listen. And, you know, the Bible is very clear, right? That many people that don't believe. Now, first I will tell you this. Blessed are those who do not see, and yet they believe. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will inherit the kingdom of heaven. And I will tell you this, there is a lot of mysteries that will not be given to everybody. God bless Israel. Welcome, brother. I see you in the morning. I saw you. Y2K was not, I don't know if there was any Christians. You know what? I don't blame you, Josh. I don't blame you. There was a lot of so-called prophecies being thrown around. And I will say this. A few things are happening. There's a lot of people that use the Bible just to make money. That's just how it goes. People use it as a business. You know, some of us, we want to work. We want to be able to make a difference. So, of course, I started my YouTube channel, and I appreciate the support that all of you have been giving me. But the main goal is to give out the message of salvation. Now, let me tell you how the rapture works, okay? And I'm just going to try to give you some type of illustration so that you can kind of understand how it works. Let's say that I tell my children, I'm going to take you guys out somewhere special. Now, I don't give them a time because I'm doing something, and I will not know exactly when that's going to be. But when I make up my mind, that is the time that it will be. So the Bible says that Jesus is going to come like the thief in the night. Before you expect it, he will show up. So the goal for us is not, the word rapture is not in the Bible. So many people call it the rapture. And even though it's not in the Bible, let me go ahead and go back a little bit to explain that word rapture. All right, 2 Thessalonians, it tells us that when Jesus is coming on his second coming, when he comes back, he's coming back for us. The Bible says that he will come, and those who are sleeping that have died, keeping the faith, will be transformed into spirit. And those who are also alive will be transformed into spirits as well. And we will join with Jesus in the clouds. That is what people call the rapture. It's not that somebody's going to come and steal you. It is something that we've been waiting for. And so a lot of people are going to say the UFO, somebody mentioned a spaceship. And so people will get confused. And, I have heard so many things. This is why I don't support too much science fiction. I love science fiction. But unfortunately, many people will get lost because of movies and science fiction stories and all these legends and all this other stuff, Halloween, etc. Right? People get they get fed so many stories in this world. Now, hopefully, Cool Cat Renee, I hope that makes sense. Okay, that's why we call it the rapture. It doesn't mean that you're gonna be stolen, but that is kind of what we understand from it. Let's see, sexual hurt. The word rapture is. I'm like, bro, I don't know what you're trying to say, Renee. You almost lost me there. Stay with me, okay? Stay with me. They say nuclear war was going to start in the Y2K. I don't know who's they, but I didn't think the world was going to end on the Y2K. I remember the whole the Y2K, theory, and computers are going to crash, and the market's going to crash, and the world is going to start launching missiles and nuclear destruction. I don't believe that. But the Bible does tell us, God warns us that we're going to hear of wars and rumors of wars, and yet it's still not the time. So the time and the day, nobody knows, not even the angels up in heaven. Only the Father knows when that time is. So I hope that that makes sense to you guys. I'm going to say this. What is most important is stop worrying about prophecies. Stop worrying about what will happen when, who is saying what. What you need to worry about is, number one, if you are a believer, if you're a Christian, you need to worry about learning to forgive your neighbor, your brothers, learning to accept that we are going to have sad moments, good times and bad times on this earth. We are not of this earth. So people make fun of us and they say, oh, aliens, extraterrestrials. Well, that's not really what the Bible is saying. And today is not a day for me to tell you the story of why or how I interpret the Bible. We're not going to speak doctrines. We're not going to speak against Baptists or Pentecostals or Catholics. I will make maybe another channel specifically to talk specifically about just religion with what I really, really believe. But this channel is more so that we can talk about politics, so that we can talk about the gospel of Jesus Christ, the message of salvation. And that's what is important to me. So with that being said, CJ, welcome. This guy, oh brother. Let's see. Whoever created religion, men created religion. See, we're prone to want to believe something. And what I believe is that sin has separated us from God. And thanks to Jesus Christ, we are able to find mercy again. And we have the opportunity to be able to make it right. You see, us alone, we're going to hell. All we can hope for is that God's mercy, it's so great that by accepting Jesus Christ as our Lord and Savior and repenting of our sins, that we may be saved. And that is our hope. Now, I did say something earlier, okay? I'm going to try to stick on the task here. There will be a tribulation. Now, if you haven't read this, I recommend you go read the book of Revelations completely, because it will tell you about all these times. We need to make sure that we are not worshiping or following man. Now, this may be a big mystery for many people. A lot of people in the world, they always say, oh, well, you worship President Donald Trump. No. Let's clarify some stuff. We don't worship President Donald Trump, but we support him. And the only reason why we support him is because we believe that God has put him there. So we're not going to question God. That's why we trust that President Donald Trump is the right man for the job. And we are the believers, the American Christian believers of this country. That's who I'm talking about, we. If you don't identify with the faith of Jesus Christ, you are not part of the we. When I say we, I mean the American patriots that have been praying for this country to be liberated again. This is why we support the Make America Great slogan. And it's not just a slogan to us. It is a commitment. And this is very important because we are not here to claim Republican or claim Democrats or claim independent. We are here to meet as American patriots. In a specific, here's the two kinds of people that I want on my chat, on my lives, on my subscriber list. One of them, if you are an American citizen and you believe to have love for this country, I want you in my chat. I want you to be a subscriber to my channel because your beliefs align with mine. And you're a Christian and you pray and you are wishing the best for this country. That's one kind of people. The second kind is residents or migrants or visitors. If you love this country, if you believe in God, if you would like to do prayer, I want you to be my subscriber. I want us to fellowship together here through a life, and that's what I want. Now, if you don't believe, if you don't care about America, if you're not a patriot, if you're not a true seeker of the American dream, then I hope that maybe when you listen to our live and when you see what kind of chats we have in together, that you will change your mind. Now, as I said, we're not going to be talking about prophecies from the apocalypse and the revelations, but there is going to be a rapture. You can put that as many other way that you want to put it, right? But there is also going to be a tribulation, and the Bible does talk about the tribulation. It's going to be 1,000 years of tribulation. I'm going to tell you what showed me, reassured me again today that President Donald Trump is the right man for the job. He goes to the United Nations, addresses the United Nations. He doesn't go in there kissing butt. He goes in there strong. And then let me tell you what I saw. I saw a man that represents strong people, a man that represents change, somebody that is not going to let the world bully Americans. I do have a little accent, so bear with me. What he said to the UN is 100% correct. They, as Marco Rubio says, they're useless. They just waste money and they don't fix nothing. I was talking this morning about Israel and Hamas, and we did a prayer this morning for Israel to be protected. We want Palestinians to be protected. And the reason why I think Donald Trump, our POTUS, was upset is because he is trying to work deals and making peace with Israel and the Palestinians. The Palestinian people, or Palestines, I guess that's how you say it, the Palestinians need a home to belong to. Now we know that, that the name Palestine is a made-up name. Nonetheless, they're still people, and they need to belong. The bad Palestinians, or Palestines, are the ones that we have here in the United States of America. Because these people don't belong here nor there. And they are causing more problems than they are solving. Now, I find it very interesting that China gets to tell Israel to stop war. And I will get to the details of that. I find it interesting that Russia wants to tell Israel how horrible they are, and yet they say nothing about Russia attacking Ukraine. Last I heard was President Donald Trump now believes that Ukraine should keep all of the land. And I believe that he's not going to be making a deal with Putin. He blew that off. Now, I could be wrong. He can still change his mind. He's the president. He makes the deals. I don't make the deals. But nonetheless, let me tell you what the difference is between Israel and any other countries out there that have been making wars. Number one, Gaza gets water because of Israel. Number one, right off the bat. Israel has been sending a lot of food into Gaza. We know that Hamas has been stealing the food. As a matter of fact, 2 Israeli soldiers were killed not too long ago by Hamas. Now, our representative for the United States of America at the UN meeting voted against recognizing Palestine as a state for one simple reason. Nothing anti-Semitic, nothing to say because they're Muslims, nothing to say because of a religion, Antifada, nothing like that. Just one thing. They refuse to condemn Hamas. I've been listening a lot to the son of the co-founders of Hamas. Very wise, very informed gentleman. He is now an American citizen. I think a lot of people need to really look into what's going on in the world. We've mentioned this. What kind of people feed and give water to their enemies? Joshua, 100%. Yusuf. I love listening to that guy talk. It's very smart. Yeah. And that's where I get my information from Hamas and, the whole Palestinian thing. I don't make that up. This is what he's been claiming. And I listened to him since he was indoctrinated to, yes, sir, to kill Jews and to do all the atrocities that they are using Palestinians to do. Hey, Omar, how are you? Welcome, buddy. Welcome. I'm going to tell you something. You can always support the Palestinians. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Israel has gone above and beyond. And this is something that is not very wise to do in the first place, but they are doing it. They are warning with pamphlets, phone calls, drones. IDF soldiers are going into Gaza, trying to help Palestinians get out of harm's way. They announce in anticipation where they're going to be bombing, where they're going to hit. They are tired of giving Hamas chance after chance after chance. And because they're doing that, hundreds of thousands of Israelis are dying. The world didn't want to listen. The UN didn't want to listen. It is time for them to do what they need to do. See, Hamas has been hiding behind Palestinians. And let it be clear, Hamas does not care about Palestinians. But Israel has been, I want to say, even bending over backwards to make sure that civilian casualties are at the minimum. It will never be zero because they use not just as human shields, right? They don't use children and women, not just for human shields. They use them as sacrifices because Hamas worships death. They don't care about life on this earth at all. They want to go and be with Allah. Now, I'm going to tell you something. The Quran specifically talks about Muslims that pretend to be Muslims. And they do their own will and not the will of Allah. And the Quran says that they will be punished by Allah. And I hear all these idiots out here, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. They don't even know what the hell they're saying. They know the meaning of the word, but they don't know what the hell they're saying. They themselves are going to be punished for pushing that terrorist agenda. They are going to be punished for killing their own brethren. See, Hamas has a lot of different beliefs compared to a lot of all the different Muslims. And this is what Yusuf talks about. And I hope that everybody understands and has clarity on these issues. It is a religious war. But we want peace. Inshallah. We want peace. God's will. All the men that pretend that they're doing all these killings in the name of Allah, they will pay for that. Allah will punish them. So I'm not going to tell you that Allah is not real, because I believe Allah is also the God of Abraham. So there's a lot of relativity. Christians most likely will not accept that Allah is God, but I do. Now, does the Quran talk about false prophets? Of course. Does it talk about bad stuff that happens? Of course. But there is a lot of scripture in the Quran that is actually aligning with the Torah and with the Bible. I find that very interesting. Very interesting. The Allah they mention is not the true God. And I believe that, Miguel. But this is exactly what I'm talking about. So the reason why we believe in the Bible, because it is the most clear book that we have, is a guidance to have a happy life and a peaceful, prosperous life. The Quran that these terrorist Muslims are putting out there, that's not the real Quran. They are practicing, just like many doctrines of man. They all start with a belief, and that belief is right. But then they deviate, and they go and they change stuff. It doesn't matter when Islam started. It doesn't matter. That they have the name of God, sure. The Bible is very clear. God has very many names. So someone cannot tell me that Allah is not God. Allah means God. Inshallah, God's will. Jehovah, Yahweh. What is it? Let me read that. Ishan says, Allah is God in the language of Arabic. Yeah, Arab Christians say Allah. It's just a name in another language. And that's exactly what I'm saying. Thank you, Ishan. If you are Muslim, assalamu alaikum. You know, a lot of people, they think that we are here to preach religion. I'm not here to preach religion. If you think that you can live by the law and gain grace and get into heaven by being perfect, you will never be perfect. Therefore, you'll never be saved. We believe in Jesus Christ. And that's how we believe that we are safe. You know, I read the Book of Mormon. And I'm going to tell you, out of all the books that I have read about religion, the Book of Mormon is the one that I least feel any type of truth about. I feel like it has been the most made up religion. And I know that if there's Mormons out here, it is what it is. Nowadays, the Mormons, which is crazy how the name of the church is the Church of the Saints of the Latter Days. I know why they say that, because of their Joseph, right? Who then call a prophet. We don't have prophets anymore. Not like we used to back then in the times of Jesus and the disciples. But there will be a lot of fake prophets that will come out. And what's crazy is that if I tell you something that is going to happen in the future, it's not something that I will make up. It is actually something that the Bible says that is going to happen. I don't make up scripture. I might use my own words to describe certain stories. Maybe I'll change some of those stories, but I will never change the word of God as it was intended to be. So don't get it twisted. Just because I respect my Muslim brothers doesn't mean that I agree with their religion. I am against Sharia law. I am against them trying to indoctrinate the United States with their Allah law. And I'm going to tell you one of the reasons why I do not support Muslims taking over any country. Because if you turn against other Muslims, you will be punished by Allah himself. If you believe that religion is true and that's what you want to follow, just know that. And because of that one simple rule, I know that no Muslim stands against any other Muslims, even if they're wrong. And I will start with Palestinians. Palestinians are out here in the United States of America, and they are waving the Palestinian flag, causing havoc in the United States of America, and yet they don't even know why they're doing that. They respond to what they see or hear from somebody else, but they don't research. They don't try to find out how long has this war been going on. They don't even know where they come from. It was made up. Palestinians was made up. I'm sorry to tell you that, but that's just what Joseph said. And I will have to take it from a son of a co-founder of Hamas. I will think that he knows what he's talking about. I'm not going to say that everything he says is true, but it's very convincing. Very convincing. And I will also tell you that Israel accepts the Palestinians. They just want their prisoners, the people that they're holding hostage. They want those hostages back. They have helped Palestinians like no other country has helped Palestinians. Look what Egypt does on their border. That should tell you something. There's a lot of Muslims in Egypt. No other country wants to open their doors for Palestinians. And yet we have. Ishan, the name Palestinian was given by the Romans. They haven't been there for thousands and thousands of years. Well, I guess by now it is thousands of years. Maybe you're right on that side. By now it is thousands. But that name was made up by the Romans. And Hamas has been using that name just to kind of give some sort of validation. And they are using the Palestinians to get their will done. They are using the emotional heart of Europeans, of the Western people, because they know that we're kind. They know that Christians are so giving and loving and forgiving and merciful, etc. They use emotions. They use your emotional heart to do their evil will. You see, I like what Yusuf says. You know, we celebrate life, but they're Muslims. Hamas, they celebrate death. There's even such thing, Ishan. Tell me if this is true. Yes, I believe there is a lot of Palestinian Christians. Absolutely. And we love Palestinians. Believe me, we do. I don't love, this is really hard for me to say, because I'm supposed to love everybody. Okay, I love, but I don't like Rashid Tlaib. She is a very hateful person. And she has been lying to her own Palestinian people. She defends Hamas. And so does Ilhan Omar. And so does AOC. And all these crazy lunatics on the Democratic Party, which we know that right now they're not Democrats. They are corrupted communist, socialist, Marxist. And I'll say it again and again. I want the Democratic Party back. You see, there's a difference when you have a party that fights for the country and there's another party that fights for the country, which may differ in opinion. But at the end of the day, they're both patriots. You see, we live in a constitutional republic that has a democracy. I know some people believe that we are a democratic country, but we're not. We're a constitutional republic that has a democracy. But that's not how we work in this country. It's not all about democracy. Popularism is not a good thing. Because we know that Soros likes to pay people to go protest. They pay people so that they would vote for them, so that they will stay in power. That's where I'm at with that. I haven't said anything about my Spanish people. And I got some Hispanics in here calling me traitor in Spanish. What the heck? How are these people, man? I've said it before, and I know that Hamas does not want the Palestinians to leave. This is why Israeli soldiers have gone into Gaza. They technically they're sacrificing their lives or putting their lives at risk by warning people that they're going to attack. They're out there helping the elder women, people with kids. And I have heard countless stories. Hey, Ken, how are you, brother? I have heard of countless stories from Palestinians from Gaza that love Israel. As a matter of fact, they praise the God of Israel because they have shown to them the kindness, and they have shown the opposite of what Hamas has been teaching their Palestinian people. I said it this morning. Hamas is teaching their kids, they're indoctrinating the kids to hate Jews. And this is what happened with Yusuf, right? He was indoctrinated when he was a kid. And then he went and spent time with the Israelis, with the Jews. And he saw that everything that they have been teaching him since they were kids was a lie. And that they just used Palestinian to do their evil duties, their evil ways. Why? Because they get emotional. And you see these American young adults out there with the Palestinian, flag and doing. They don't even know what the hell they're doing. They don't even know who they're protesting. They think that Hamas is going to accept all the gays. They think that they really think, and it's because of the freedom that they have here in the United States. They have the freedom of speech. They have the freedom of being able to say whatever they want, the freedom of religion. They can get away with so much stuff over here. They keep saying that President Donald Trump is destroying free speech, and yet they are condemning President Trump every single day. Tell me how we don't have freedom of speech. You are able to speak anything except to incite violence and to support terrorists. There's a big difference. I want to thank you guys for giving my videos a like, for your support, especially my members. Omar is the little one in the family. Trinity, Miguel, you guys are awesome. I appreciate you. Ken, you come in here, give some support. I appreciate it. To all my American brothers and sisters out there, I know that for many that sounds like it's very fake or corny or whatever, but this is exactly how we love one another. we pray for one another. How is it that people can still hate those who want peace, those who really want to make a difference in their communities? The resistance, unfortunately, what you're talking about, the resistance, the people that support the resistance, they're resisting good. I wish they were resisting evil, but they're not. They're resisting what's good. And this country needs more patriots. I've said this many times. I still don't know what Ilhan Omar is still doing in Congress. That's beyond me. That's beyond me. I don't know why she's still in there. Like, do we really, as people, let me tell you why. Again, another reason why I have to trust that God put President Donald Trump in office. Look at us. Look at us. What can we do to get Ilhan Omar out of Congress? Nothing. What can we do as we the people, the voters, the citizens of this country, what can we do to hold tyrants and thieves and liars in the Democratic Party that have been lying to us, abusing their power, weaponizing the FBI, the CIA, keeping secrets from us, the we the people? We can do nothing to them. Nothing. And the only person that can get on them is President Donald Trump. And that's why we support him. Here in Seattle, Washington, what do people say here in Seattle, Washington? President Trump, please come and audit these guys. Please send the National Guard. Please send Doge over here. Send the DOJ already. Please, President Donald Trump. This is what we are saying here in Seattle, Washington, throughout the whole Washington state. See, this state over here is known, or they say it's over 67 or 68% Democrats. How do we know that? There has been scandals that the DMV, Department of Motor Vehicles, has been registering people that have licenses as registered voters. We have heard of dead people voting, undocumented people voting. How do we know that this really is a blue state, as they say, and not just some type of cheating game that they've been playing for the last couple decades? I find it so hard to believe that Washington State was once a beautiful, very strong state for the United States of America. And in the last couple of decades, we have seen it decline drastically. The economy is going down the toilet. Taxes are out of control. Property taxes are out of control. How can we say that Washingtonians like that? How can we say the majority of the people that vote here in Washington State are Democrats? I refuse to believe that Democrats are evil. Yes, we have a lot of leftist lunatics out there, but we have seen from Democratic patriots, millions have turned from being Democrats. Not because they're leaving the party, but because the party left them a long time ago. And people are starting to realize. They've been realizing this since Donald Trump took office on the first term. Now, Oscar, I know you're illegal. I will say keep your comments to yourself. Unless you're going to fight for this country, just keep your mouth shut. This channel is for patriots, American citizens, residents, legal migrants that care about the United States of America being great. You guys only have freedom because of American patriots, the sacrifice of our fallen soldiers, those who stood up for righteousness, for justice, and believe in God. Even those that went to war without believing in God, they were still protected because of the rest of the people praying for them. So if you don't respect Americans and you don't care about this country, I'm going to politely say to you, shut the hell up. Freedom of speech can only take you so far. Here in this live chat, I allow you to have your freedom of speech, but I will not tolerate hateful speech. And that is a house rule in this channel, whether you like it or not. I am very patient, and that's really hard for me to say, because I always believe that I'm a very impatient man. But it turns out that I got more patience than I thought. I think the difference is I just don't take bullshit from nobody. That's the difference. So again, if you come in here, I will suggest that if you have a question, a concern, or a statement, or something that you want to make it count. But I'm telling you right now, you can call me a sellout, you can call me a traitor. I am a Honduran American. Honduran because I was born in Honduras, and American because I am a naturalized American citizen. No hateful speech. Thank you. No bullshit. Zeke, Oscar said, talking out of your ass is hate speech. Is disrespectful. It'll make me hate him. I think it's hate speech. I cannot fix stupid trolls. You're right. You're right. Let me see. Let me read some comments here. I'll give you guys a chance. I'll give you a chance to redeem yourselves. Let me see. 121. We're going to start with 121 KC. At nobody. Yippee, you're the one tripping. What went down? My faith in humanity certainly did. 121. Don't give up, brother. Don't give up. Jason says, like a great president once said, ask not what your country can do for your country. Oh my God, guys. I wish I can show you this, but TikTok, the most piece of shit platform, says a violation warning. Your life is flagged for civic and election integrity. Repeated violations could result in your life being discontinued. Man, funk this, guys. We have freedom of speech in this country. You see this piece of junk TikTok stuff, man. This is what I don't trust it. Now, when you guys over here cursing at me and saying all this nasty stuff, I'm supposed to accept it, right? But these guys in TikTok don't like it. They don't like the freedom of speech. And I'm telling you, I'm giving them a chance only because I know that we're about to make a deal with TikTok. Yeah, you're right, VS. But, you know, I am hoping that maybe with Americans being involved, you know, hopefully they're more towards, you know, freedom of speech and all this stuff. How ironic or how idiotic, actually, it is for TikTok to say, oh, you can say that about civics, oh, you cannot opinion about election integrity and all this other stuff. Like, yeah, we are in the United States of America, not in China. We have the freedom of speech, and we can say whatever we want, but I am not insulting them because they are just blocking my freedom of speech. I am insulting them because they are destroying one of the freedoms that we have as Americans, and yet they are allowed to operate in the United States of America. Now, I am allowing anybody can come into my chat, right? Anybody can come in here, but I will expect some sort of level of respect, right? Because the last thing I want is to start, responding to your comments in the way that you are commenting. So what I would recommend is that if you are here, that you try to be respectful as possible, right? That's what I'm saying. Let me try to clarify something, okay? As I'm reading some stuff, because sometimes I don't say the right stuff either. So I apologize about that. Let me see what we got here. They got nothing better to Patreon. They got nothing better to do with their life. It's okay. Well, hopefully they'll learn something, to be honest. Berkeley Crawford says, if he runs for a third term, so can Obama. Obama had 2 consecutive terms. So that would be the difference. And I think that that is the only excuse, is that a president didn't serve 2 terms back to back. Okay, that's what I understand from that. Andrew says, I hope my grandkids' generation is back being strong again. I agree 100% on that statement. Randy, turn to God ASAP. Now is the time of God's favor. Amen. I like that. Bob has dementia, he says. Sorry, Bob. We'll try to be a little bit more caring about you. James says, 2 for deal. Who cares how long he's been in this? What is it? What is in your business? Trinity says, Uncle says, thank you, Trinity. Paul, in the USA, 1933, and Europe, 1938. Shoot, I don't remember what the hell happened in that year, to be honest. It's not in my brain right now, okay? Trump for Life says, the red coat Thomas. You know, back in the day, they used to have this saying, let's go get some red coats. Some of you will get it, I'm sure. Let's see. Retired Title says, I met Trump last week. Man, I met Trump years ago, decades ago, while I was trying to be an entrepreneur, and he was the one sponsoring the company. And he said the nicest things about all the business, all the Americans, Mexicans, all the Hispanic community that were trying to make something for themselves, and I appreciate it. So even then, I got to support President Donald Trump. Carlos G, haven't been here for a while. What you got today? Don't become Kimmel. Dennis, anchor baby. Bring the conversation on. It's cool. I'm not an anchor baby. I don't have anchor babies because I was legal when my kids were born here in America, so they get the right to become citizens, legitimate citizens. Malik says, you will find any way to make this felon president. Yeah, okay, I'm sure you like Nicolas Maduro. I'm sure that he's one of your favorite teams. You loved Obama. Oh, did you love Obama? Did you want Hillary Clinton to win? Did you want Kamala to win as well? I mean, the kind of people that you guys have been choosing have been lying to us straight to our face. We see the video and they see the city building and they call it a peaceful protest. Even till this day, right now we have Gavin Newsom over there and Mayor Bass in California saying they don't need the National Guard. Everything is under control, they say. In the meantime, we see the police over there. There's nothing they can do. Their cop cars are being burned. Electrical cars are being burned in the street. Businesses are being sprayed with graffiti. Things is going to chaos. People throwing bricks and rocks at cars, windshields, and all this stuff. They were blocking traffic, destroying freeways, throwing stuff from overpass bridges. Please, don't tell me that these people are the ones that you want in office. Don't tell me that President Donald Trump, the only one that is seeking peace throughout the world, is worse than these guys that you want in office. January 6th, it's not what they told you that it is. They were set up. And I believe that that is the reason why the digital pen pardoned all these criminals. January 6th, let's remind you guys, was made all Democrats, all leftist people that do not like this country. They don't care about the American people. That's the people that was January 6th committee. Lunatics on the left side. Think about that. What happened to the FBI agents that were caught dressed as Republican MAGA supporters? They incited the violence and then they disappear. Some YouTubers follow them because they try to hide from what they did. But all right, I'm gonna close this this TikTok piece of junk. Yeah, that's gonna go screw yourselves. Oh, jeez. Wow. Who the hell uses TikTok anymore? Like I see people coming on TikTok here, but it's so disappointing. This man, I want to give them a chance. Because the only reason why I want to give TikTok a chance, sorry I got distracted, but the only reason why I want to give TikTok a chance is because I have seen posts from Washingtonians on TikTok. And that is the only reason why I wanted to give it a shot. But man, this software sucks. Man, I am just so against it. I hope that we have a better results with Rumble. We'll see how that goes. We'll continue to give it a chance. Let me see. Somebody made a comment in here, and hey guys, and I appreciate your comments. Patriots for Truth, you are right, Dennis. 99. Hey, how you doing, 98? Good to see you in here. Ryan says, hope you like your country being broke. Man, speaking of broke, yeah, I believe it, man. We need to take care of our country. This is what I'm saying about having American patriots. I want American patriots to come together. J Money, Viva Mexico, cabrones. He says, long live Mexico, assholes. Thanks for the two, bro. Let me see. Yeah, we're trying to get some subscribers in Rumble. Thank you, Trinity, for that. I keep forgetting about that. We need 5 subscribers so that we can actually do live as well in Rumble. Carlos Trejo is over here on TikTok. Sorry, buddy, the TikTok sucks. TikTok is only good if you're going to make a fool of yourself or if you're just going to make stupid videos. That's what TikTok likes. Let me see what else we have. I work for has been destroyed by Trump's tariffs. How is that a good thing? I believe they're going to be addressing some of these farmers that are being affected by these tariffs, apparently. I don't understand how people have become so reliant on foreign countries to provide for them what their business needs. I'm going to say this. If you, B079 says Rumble, laugh out loud. If you cannot afford to have a business, you are not meant to be a business owner. How's that? Go get a job at a company that knows how to do business. How about that? I have been a business owner twice, and I know I am not going to blame the country or anything else, high prices, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. If you know how to run a business, the business will run. And if people don't want that business, they're not going to go to you, period. If you're trying to use child labor, trying to use other countries that don't follow the rules that we follow, I get it. But don't blame tariffs on that, because people have been losing businesses every single day, and that was before tariffs. So don't make that excuse. Washington State is broke because of the stupid Democratic government that we have here that doesn't know how to run a budget, has been money laundering through NGOs, taking the taxpayers' money and giving it to illegals and programs that we don't even know anything about, nor do we care since we don't support it. See, they have figured out that by having NGOs, they don't need our permission to use our money. They'll just say that they're going to use it for something good, and you don't even know where that money is going. They blame tariffs because they have been wasting our money. We are negative. Starting this year, we were negative $16 billion. This is before President Donald Trump even took office. And now they're double that amount? It's not tariffs. It's not the president. See, they think that we're stupid. They think that we don't pay attention. But we know. How is it possible? Why would you blame a president that just came on board for the problems that you have created? Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, till this day, I haven't got one of you people in here, and I'm not talking about you patrons, I'm talking about these trolls. I haven't heard one of you guys come and say, hey, listen, I know President Donald Trump, he stopped the war, over there, and he put Iran on his tracks, kind of put a hold on that, etc. Why is this thing still on? Oh, man, I want to curse TikTok. Nobody cares about you, TikTok. I mean, I can't believe that YouTube is going to be the only channel that I can use. We'll see. We'll see if Rumble does anything for us. I really want to be able to. J Money says we need Robin Hood to steal from the rich and give to the poor. J Money, this is exactly what they want. They want poor people to think that they are useless. They want them to think that there is no way to become prosperous in this country. They want them to think that they have nowhere else to go but to depend on the government. And we don't believe in that. We know that there is social programs that you and I can both take advantage of if we really need it. That's what it's there for. But these people that want to be dependent on these social programs, that's a problem. I think that we have, especially nowadays, right? Especially with Maha, right? With what they come up with, this autism and all this other stuff. 1 out of 10, guys, 1 out of 10, people are born with autism. And some of them are very severe cases. And that's not fair. But this is what the program should be for people that need assistance with taking care of those children and giving them a chance to grow up to be as normal as possible. And by normal, I mean by being, sustainable, that you can depend on yourself to be able to catch a bus, to be able to do, basic tasks. I've heard that the two mothers that spoke when Bob was talking about, Tylenol, right? That pregnant women should not have Tylenol. And they're also recommending that they don't give children, newborns, Tylenol. And, to kind of be more responsible with it. And people don't say they don't say anything about that kind of stuff. So do we need social services? Absolutely, 100%. That is part of the benefits of being an American. We work hard. The rich pay a lot of taxes, guys. The 5%, they pay over 70% of the taxes that are being paid in this country. The 5% pay more than 95% of the population in this country. Can you believe that? So how can we not support President Donald Trump when he is making sure that these big companies are coming back to the United States of America? I know that a lot of people in here, and I'm talking about trolls again, a lot of people in here, they think that we're going to bring manufacturers within a couple of weeks. It doesn't work like that. Democrats got rid of our manufacturing jobs in the last couple of decades. They have wasted over $26 trillion, which, by the way, we are in debt because of them. When we ask, where has this money gone? Nobody knows. Why is it? Nobody knows. And what happens in Washington State? They were from a $16 billion good, strong budget just for the Washington State. Now they're double that, negative in debt. And all they can say is the same thing that the mayor of Chicago is saying. We're going to take more taxes from you to help illegal immigrants. Did you guys watch that clip when he said that? He actually got booed. You guys say something about that. I want to hear something about that. Go ahead, say something. If you're Mexican, let me remind you, if you're Mexican and you are illegal in this country, Let me remind you that 11,000 Americans left and they moved down to Mexico City. You know what the Mexicans in Mexico City are doing? They want them deported. They don't want them there. They say it's an invasion. They say the rent has gone up. The prices of housing has gone so high because 11,000 Americans moved to Mexico and they got dollars to pay. 11,000. Imagine that. Mexicans protesting, 11,000 migrants, not illegal migrants, migrants. What are we supposed to do with 11 million illegal immigrants in the last 4 years? I believe what Ken says. Ken says that President Donald Trump is doing the best that he can. Now, I'm going to fire up at you guys a little bit more because it is easy for you and I to sit here and go ahead and judge President Donald Trump for his failures or for his lack of attention, as you want to see or say. But you don't know the tremendous obligation that he has on his shoulders. I am surprised, as old as the man is, how strong he is. The border secure, tariffs to make the world negotiate with us again. He's going to other countries to say, I want to make this clear. America first. And we're going to make a deal that benefits America first. You know why? Because the United States of America, and don't take my word for this. Why don't you go and look in Google and go ahead and Google what USA stands for. And you go see what they do. You don't have to take my word for it. Go to Google, since you like to Google stuff. I like to Google stuff. So go to Google and look up USA. What does it mean? And it'll give you a brief description of historical events, blah, 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 and what the United States does for the country. And then we'll talk. But this old man that you guys are hating, the Cheeto man, the taco man, the orange cheese, whatever you want to call him, that's my president. And I'm very proud of him. He stood up there in front of UN, the United Nations, and boldly says, America first. He goes and he can tell Putin, listen, I trusted you. I thought this war will be finished because we have a good relationship. We have an understanding of where we stand. But now you're pulling my leg. I don't like it. Erica forgave the assassin of her husband, Charlie Kirk, may he rest in peace. President Trump says, I hate my enemies. What he said? I hate my competition, I think is the word that he said. And I'm going to tell you something. May God have mercy on our soul, because I will tell you, I am no Jesus Christ. He was perfect. But a lot of us Christians in this country, we can tell you that we believe in the love of Christ and all this stuff. But when it comes to fighting, we fight stronger because of our love and faith in God. So when we have to go spank somebody because they're misbehaving, believe it or not, you better believe it, you're going to get a spanking. And it's not going to be nice. What was it? Who was it this morning that was saying Antifa this, Antifa that? Who was it? Let me try to remember. Who was it? Diaper Trump, I think is his username. He kept putting Antifa flag, gray and black, blah, blah, blah. Antifa flag, Antifa this. And when I told them that Antifa has been labeled a terrorist group and they're going to get spanked, he said, bring it on. We're waiting. We're ready. He said, I don't think you know what the National Guard is going to do to you. National Guard is not just, some people that go like the Coast Guard and, save people and this and that. Of course, they provide assistance with natural disasters and stuff. The National Guard is the army. And they are here to protect us from domestic terrorists, from any type of invasion, any type of disorder. They kick. Ken, you took my words out, man. Man, this guy is right on me. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, they kick ass. And they are, man, I don't know about you guys. I love the United States. I love the military. I love the Marines. Those are badasses. I love the Air Force. I love every serviceman, whether it be from the Coast Guard all the way to the National Guard. You guys, if you know somebody, or if you have, you know, serving or have served before, man, God bless you. Thank you so much for your service. I have no words to tell you my gratitude for any of the young people that are out there graduating from military academy, etc., becoming the next generations of the reserves and the people that are going to fight to defend this country. They're amazing, and we love them, and we'll pray for them, and we will defend them as much as we can defend them. And so for all you haters out there that don't love the United States of America, I don't know what, I have a word that I want to use, but I don't feel comfortable saying it freely. But I'll just use that little icon, that little emoji of poop. That's what you guys are. Dennis, you watch too much Rambo movies. I did watch a lot, all the Rambo movies, and all the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Commando, Predator, all this military. Yes, you're right. I have watched all that stuff. But when I say that I love my American military and serviceman, that is not because I'm a good guy, not because I have a good heart, but because it breaks my heart to see the sacrifice that they have to go through. And yet we still have so many ungrateful mofos in this country that don't even respect our flag, don't even honor the memory of the fallen ones. They don't care how much sacrifice, how much blood has been shed for this country. This is why it pisses me off that they are here taking advantage of all the sacrifices that true American heroes and patriots have done for this nation to be the greatest nation in the world. And they get to sit here and they waste their freedom of speech talking shit. Instead of being useful, instead of trying to say, man, this is the great country. Man, I am so grateful that president is fighting for this nation. Instead of saying those things, that's what you do. How can you not support good? President Trump says that many times. He's proving it to you. 3 missiles in Iran, boom, 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 done. No casualties. The boats bringing drugs, heading this way, boom, 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 3 of them gone. He is trying to fight. It's not just the oil. I think we should get the oil. I think we should get oil from Venezuela. But it's more to free the Venezuelan people who have been oppressed for the last couple of decades, minimum. They were at some point a good country, and President Donald Trump is fighting for us, benefiting them, and in giving is how we receive the benefit from them to us. Does that make sense? It's a circle of life, so to speak. The United States first, but I will say, Israel first in allies, but America first, okay? And above all else, God first and foremost. That is who we trust. That is who we believe. And so when I get upset with people cursing Americans, hating our military, talking about how horrible it is to have the National Guard bring order, it's a disgrace. You dishonor our military men. I love the military man. You know, when people see police, I don't know. Some people, they hide. Why? I'm out there in the open. Hey, how you doing, sir? Ma'am? God bless you. Thank you for your service. Appreciate it. I know that many don't believe this, but I got pulled over by a state patrol. State patrol was this white guy. shaved head, blue eyes. He was down to here to me. Pulls me over because my nephew on the driver's side had the seatbelt underneath his arm. So he thought that he didn't have a seatbelt on. Pulls me over, asks for my license, registration, proof of insurance, tells me to step out of the car. And I said, sure. I step out of the car. He says, I am going to put you in the back of my car for your safety and my safety. He wanted to have my nephew in the car by himself. And then he put the handcuffs on me. He asked me, are they too tight? I said, no, that's fine. And I sat in the back seat of this patrol car. The guy was like mean looking, serious. And I sat in there and I noticed there is a spot, like a denture in the seat. It is meant for your hands with handcuffs to go in there. And when you sit there, it's actually pretty comfortable. And I'm sitting in there and I'm talking with him. And eventually I go and I tell him, hey, officer. He said, yes. I said, I just realized something here. You know, these handcuffs are very uncomfortable back here, but there's a little hole in there that once you put your hands in there, it's pretty comfortable back here. The guy went from the mean, serious face to laughing. And he says, oh, doggone it. He says, you are the first person that has ever figured that out. And I was, you know what? He said, I'm sorry that I have to put you back there. I said, don't worry, sir. You go ahead and go through my record. He went through my record, comes out. I give him my handshake. And, you know, he says, you know what? Thank you so much for your cooperation. Being a state patrol trooper, he said, we don't get this type of cooperation all the time. Every time that I pull somebody over on the freeway, I have to think, am I going to get shot in the face or in my vest? And I say, sir, God bless you. Thank you for your service. I understand everything you do is for our safety, and keep up the good work. You can believe it or not. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care. It's a true story. And it happened. So that's all I really care about. And sadly, I don't know how long ago now, but State Patrol had pulled over somebody in Marysville. And a drunk driver, illegal immigrant, going over 100 miles an hour, hit his patrol car from behind, killing the patrol trooper. I don't know what to call them, honestly. It's a sad story. And I know so many Latinos, Hispanics, I'm not going to say Mexicans. I know so many Hispanics that love to drink and drive drunk. Carlos, that's a good question, man. You know, I regret it. I was not a citizen, okay? But I was a resident and I should have. So I went and I tried out when I was 18 years old. It's all right, Pat. Don't worry about it. I got you. I got Ken. I got Miguel. I got Omar. I got a bunch of you patriots in here feeding my heart with positivity. And, you know, I know a lot of you guys pray for me. So it gives me strength to be able to shake some of this stuff off. I appreciate it. So I went to the recruiter because I wanted to be in the Army, but I wanted to be on the ground. I wanted to be the first guy they send, right? And so they did a test. They did a physical test. Now, mind you, I was fit, you know. I was 180 pounds. I'm 6'1". I run a 4.3 40-yard dash, 37-inch vertical. I'm thinking I'm very strong. I bench press 135 pounds, 36 times. You know, and I'm squatting over 500 pounds on my legs, and I'm feeling very confident. And they did something, and they told me that I couldn't join the Army. And when I told them, they said it was my feet, that I wouldn't be able to handle the long hikes with the equipment. Well, they were right, because when I go hiking, even with 50 pounds of weight on my back, my feet are the first ones to start hurting. So I don't know, something happened with it. But what I regret, Carlos, is it's not that. It's that I didn't try to join something else. Like I chickened out. Yeah, marches. Thank you, Ken. No, sorry, I said hiking. I apologize. I'm thinking because of our civilian life. But I, I don't know why. I don't know, man. Navy, no way. I thought that I was gonna, chickened out in the ocean, and the whole seasick thing. And then for the Army, for the Air Force, I didn't think I was smart enough to be in there. And so, that's my excuses, guys. It doesn't matter how strong I was or this and that. Yeah, something about flat-footed, but I guess now they have different types of shoes, that helps with that. No, B, you get canceled. Yeah, Richard. Yeah, you can say that maybe I was a coward for giving up, right? So fast, and I mean, it just kind of crushed me. I thought I was like I could be the best soldier, and then to hear that, it just destroyed my heart. At 18 years old, man, I'm just some young punk trying to figure out what life is all about. No experience, and now it's like Anthony Reed. I am retired U.S. Air Force. 25 years, man. God bless you. Thank you for your service. Really love that. Thank you for your service. So I will say this, that, maybe I wasn't smart enough to join intelligence and all this other stuff. I never became a police officer. That was my plan B, because I was not a citizen, and you have to be a citizen to be a police officer. Nowadays, I don't know. Maybe you don't have to anymore, but I'll tell you what. I was not able to serve this country. You can call me a coward. You can call me lazy, neglectful, a bad patriot, bad citizen, or whatever you want. You can say any of those things. I'll accept it. But not every hero, not every patriot needs to hold a rifle and go to war. A lot of patriots, we can get behind our soldiers with prayer, with belief in God, asking for protection, speaking the truth, giving them support, lifting their morals, give them high standards, letting them know that we love them, that we appreciate them, that we care for them, that they are the real heroes of our nation, that they are the patriots that we look up to. I get a little bit teary and a little bit nostalgic, because I believe that. It is the truth. I have such conviction in good, doing good. Many people don't have conviction. And this is why they give themselves to evil. This is why they're disrespectful. This is why they hate the country that provides for them. This is why they disrespect and dishonor those who fight and die for them. No food stamps, no welfare, or Section 8 for Dennis. Ah, man. I hope I never need it. But if I ever do need it, I hope I can get something. Anthony, Wayne hasn't heard it. Okay, you guys are having a conversation. Angel Miranda. Hey, listen. This is just for my Hispanic loved ones. Why would you type something in Spanish? just type it in English, man. It's all good. Like I said, you can tell me to shut up. You can say all this stuff. Guys, just don't be hateful, okay? And then plus, I think that the only... This is true, but I want to know why you put that in Spanish. Here, I'm going to tell you a story. I know, brother. Hey, Carlos, you know I love you, brother. I know. I remember we were once Mexican together. I appreciate you, Carlos. Don't worry about that, man. I don't think you can offend me. After we had that bonding day a few weeks ago, you will never be able to offend me, okay? But I'm going to tell you a story. This is a true story. And Trinity, you've been here since the beginning, so you probably have heard this already. I drove all the way from California. I wanted to go to Canada. Came in there with a friend, a Mexican friend. When we came to the border, mind you, this is like over 20-hour drive, okay? We get to the Canadian border and we're thinking, we're just going to go through. We're citizens, well, I was a resident actually. But, we're going to get through. We're just going to go to a restaurant and just kind of drive around downtown in Vancouver, Canada, British Columbia, BC, Vancouver, BC. And we get there and then the sheriff on this side, the American sheriff, tells us to pull over. So we're like, oh, okay, well, let's see what, let them check, blah, blah, blah. We're just going there for a few hours and coming right back. Well, we give him our licenses and he sees that we have Spanish last names. Now, mind you, I could be a Filipino. I wouldn't be able to speak Spanish if I'm Filipino, right? But Filipinos have full Spanish names. As my Mexican friends say, we look like nopales. So the guy automatically assumed that we spoke Spanish, which we did. But I said, hello, officer, how are you? And so he starts speaking Spanish to me. And I respond in English. And I say, sir, can you please speak in English to me? Now, maybe he heard my accent. He's like, this guy, he doesn't even speak that good of an English, right? I said, can you please speak English to me, right? And then he kept replying in Spanish. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what to think at this moment. Like, am I supposed to get offended? Should I get mad? Maybe not, right? Because I'm proud of being Hispanic. I'm proud of being Honduran American. And so he kept speaking Spanish to me with a heavy accent, by the way. I don't want to give him any credit. With that, oh wait, what do I have this on? I'm not using TikTok anymore. And so with a heavy accent, right? He's speaking Spanish to me. And I said, can you please do me a favor and just speak English to me, right? So I said, I don't think it's funny that you keep speaking Spanish to me when I'm asking you to speak English. I do speak Spanish, but I'm requesting you to please speak in English. And I said, we are in America. We speak English. My friend kept pulling my shirt, be like, hey, man, it's okay. Don't worry about it. And so he tells me, can you step out of the vehicle, please? And I was like, oh, my God, seriously? And he says, do you have any weapons? And I said, I got a bat and a bucket of baseballs, okay? And I said, yeah, I got a bat and a bucket of baseballs. And he says, you think that's funny? I was like, well, no, but I like that you speak in English to me now, and I appreciate that. He called his K9, and it was raining, so it was muddy. He makes his K9 without asking me for permission, makes him go through my back seat and leave all these muddy paw prints in my car. I was mad. And I said, I want to talk to your superior. And the guy's like, well, you're going to get a chance because you're not going anywhere. And so he took me inside the booth and the little building on the immigration on the American side. And I saw a bunch of Africans, Indians, and the only white people that I saw in there, they were Russians or Ukrainians. That was it. Nobody else. And then I'm just like, okay, you know what? And I said over there, I'm an American citizen, and I deserve some respect. I don't appreciate this guy speaking Spanish the whole time, even though I don't think I was a citizen. I was just a green card holder. I've never experienced racism, blah, blah, blah. And this is a sheriff. He's supposed to be, nice to Americans. And here he is being racist towards me. And I can see all the people that you have in here that you guys are all racist because I don't see anybody else being pulled over here except Mexicans, Indians, and blacks. And I told them, and the only white people I can tell in here are Russians and people that don't speak English. And so the captain, he said, Mr. Herrera, I apologize to you. Let me assure you, we are not racist. And blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I said, okay, but you need to reprimand him. He's supposed to be a sheriff. He's supposed to be upholding the law, and he's being out here being racist to minorities. So I left. Mind you, we already wasted about an hour, almost 2 hours. And I get to the Canadian side. And the Canadian guy gives me the signal and tells me to pull over. I said, this is not happening. I just want to go to the restaurant and eat some food because I like this restaurant. I've been there before. And so they told me to go inside. Number one, there's nobody in there. There's like two windows open, and they told me to wait until I get called. Nobody calls me after an hour. I am pissed. And I said, excuse me, is somebody going to help me? Because I know that I don't have any drugs. All I want is to go have a meal at a restaurant, and that's it, and then go back to my country. I wasted like almost 4 hours trying to get through the border of the United States of America and Canada. It's been years. Till this day, I have not tried to go back to Canada at all. With that being said, I was almost excited because I heard rumors that British Columbia from Canada might become part of the United States of America. And I thought, what a great idea. Can you imagine if we have Vancouver, Canada, British Columbia, Canada, if we have that province as the United States of America, we have the whole West Coast all the way up to Alaska. How much more powerful will our country be? It is just crazy. Thank you, VS. Don't worry about this, guys. It's okay. We have some good moderators. We have a lot of patrons that come in through this page, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. Hey, guys, thank you so much for liking and subscribing. You guys know that that actually helps me tremendously. Some say that it helps the algorithm and all this BS. I just get excited to know that we are growing and that we are speaking truth. We're trying to speak all truth, but most importantly, that we are supporting our country. So there was another, thank you, Jeb. And then there was another, who was it? Oh my gosh, I really wanted Alberta to be part of the United States as well. Not because we're bullies or because we want to, just have more land, but because there is a lot of Canadians that are more patriotic with the United States and the land that they live in than a lot of entitled Americans that we have here. And, Canadians in Alberta, they're hard workers. They are the people that sustain the country practically. They have a lot of resources and all this stuff. And we have the other half of the things that they need. So just imagine if we clean up with Alberta and then Vancouver, Canada, BC, I'm sorry, I'm butchering you guys' name. Saskatchewan was one of those. It would have been such a great addition, and not even an addition, but more of a union between Canadians that believe, as a lot of patriot Americans do, in defending, protecting, honoring, and living to have a great country. I think that we could have benefited a lot. I don't know where they are today with those kind of talks. I honestly stopped looking into it since this whole Charlie thing started. And I think that we have been deviating ourselves from other news around the world because of the tragedy that we have experienced. But nonetheless, we are coming above all obstacles. We're stepping up. We continue to believe. And again, I am so grateful to have had the opportunity to come to this country, to become a resident, and to become a citizen. Well, Canada is a sovereign country, absolutely. And I think the Canadians are awesome, but I don't know. I don't see it happening. If it did, man, I will be doing cartwheels and I'll be going through that same border spot and just be like, that's right. We don't even got to check in no more. So I know it's not going to happen, obviously. But there were some rumors. I was listening to some Canadian reporters, some Canadian influencers and stuff like that were kind of reporting some of the stuff that Alberta was going back and forth with the prime minister, not being respected, not being appreciated, and all this other stuff, right? Going through kind of the same things that we are here in America as Americans going through with our corrupted government. And as again, I said before, we are happy that we have President Donald Trump, as our president. You can't believe anything you read on the internet. That's true, Wayne. But one can always hope. They say ignorance is bliss. And, it was a good idea. It was a good thought. And I appreciate that. All right, guys. Well, that is the end of my night. Normally, I'm here 5 to 7. Sometimes on Friday, we go above and beyond that. And I appreciate you guys' companionship, your support. Trinity knows all the facts. Thank you, VS. I appreciate you. God bless Israel, of course. We are always wishing for peace in the Middle East, they say. Remember that President Donald Trump was the one that made the Abraham Accords happen. The Arabs are in peace because of our president. Many people don't want to acknowledge that, but it is true. And man, I'm hoping for better things to come, guys. All right, Ken, VS, Trinity, Miguel, if you're still in there falling asleep. No, Miguel's still there. All right, I think Omar might have gone already. Much love to you guys and all of you guys that have been supporting me through all this time. You guys have a wonderful night, and I will see you tomorrow. I will try to be on time at 5. I promise. Next week, after Wednesday, starting Thursday and Friday next week, I will be on time, 5 p.m. every day. And I think that we're going to have a time from 7 to 9 a.m. as well. And I will try to publish a video with links that you guys can actually see what I'm listening to, where I'm getting my news from, and then that we can all be better informed. All right, till next time. Hey, Carlos, thank you for stopping by today, brother. Stinson, thank you for the peace. Caleb, may God bless you and your family. Thank you guys all for your words, your positivity. I appreciate you all. All right, till next time. God bless you and God bless the USA. You guys have a good night.